There's a lot of E3 buzz in the news lately. First, that the event is making its return this summer. That's good. Second, that the big three platform holders aren't participating. That's bad. Except it's not entirely true. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is some kind of bait and switch that will end with everyone who's wearing a suit saying, "Oh, just kidding, we'll be all up in the LA Convention Center this summer," or something to that effect. In fact, I'd say it's pretty conclusive at this point that none of the big three have any intentions of participating in the official E3 festivities to any extent. However, news outlets and YouTubers pushing the story are playing this up as being novel when it's mostly been standard practice since well before the pandemic. Take a look at past years, and you'll see a lot of instances where the show floor presence is largely left to third-party publishers, while the platform holders themselves opt for not E3 but E3 adjacent presentations that just happen to fit in perfectly with the official press conference schedule, with suspiciously little overlap. Especially troubling is how this is getting blown up as some major bellwether for Nintendo's immediate future in particular. A lot of Nintendo news outlets and dedicated channels have been huffing copium about the next generation Switch situation, specifically that there isn't a situation at all, for weeks, and are willing to take something as routine and frankly unindicative of anything as, say, the sunrise, as a sign that a new hardware announcement is imminent. News that Nintendo is not participating in E3 has been spun as an indication that Tears of the Kingdom is pretty much the end for the Switch, which must mean a new system is coming, right? Even though all indications are that the specs have just now been locked in? If they have been locked in at all yet? Of course, looking at it rationally, which goes against everything the rumor mill stands for, you have to realize that it's not in Nintendo's interest to undercut the buzz around Tears of the Kingdom before it lands by making its holiday announcements ahead of time. So if the game is coming out in May, when would be the best time to talk about what's next in the pipeline, like Metroid Prime 4 or Pikmin 4? In that light, all signs point to an E3 adjacent Nintendo Direct. Backing away from Nintendo in particular, there is one aspect of the E3 news that really does suck, because it felt like the 2023 return of E3 could finally enact a wave of modernizations that would help it realize its full potential. Now, I'm glad that the public admission dates are being separated from the press dates because that will really clean up the show floor for people to do their jobs, but I've long maintained that E3 2006 should have been an indication of the future of the event, and I'm still waiting for that to come to fruition. You see, with the Xbox 360 being the first console in the perpetually connected era, they brought E3 home in a way that no other console could up to that point, with a handful of show floor demos posted up on Xbox Live for anyone to sample as they saw fit, Test Drive Unlimited being the most noteworthy. Now, these were not normal demos as we think of them, and they came with disclaimers pointing out that these were E3 builds not meant to fit into that mold, and people just understood that. They actually got it. Unfortunately, this was never followed up on, even as the PlayStation 3 and the Wii had launched with similar online capabilities to deliver the same kind of experience. Even Microsoft cooled off on it when it should have become the standard practice. Now, I've talked before on this channel about how demo culture was a major thing in the 90s and aughts and how the industry would be better if it were to make a comeback. And while I didn't have E3 2006 in mind when I brought it up, imagine a world where E3 brought with it 30 or 40 game demos for each platform, if only for the balance of E3 week. Everyone gets hands-on time, and don't even have to stand in line for 4 hours to get it. That would do more for any game at the show than any 8-minute trailer ever could. They wouldn't even have to have public admission days at all, just make the demos available on the eShop, Xbox Live, and PlayStation Network. Unfortunately, with the big three apparently out of the event proper, it's unlikely that any such steps will be made this year. E3 could really use it. That's all for now. If you like this video, then please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe as it really helps the channel out. Click the notification bell to know when the next video goes up. I'm Patrick Mifflin, sounding off.